What's up, everybody? Today looks like we're going to be talking about Jon Jones' arrest. Now, it looks like Jon Jones was arrested on Sunday night following his Hall of Fame inductee for his fight with Alexander Gustafsson. So, more details have come out since his arrest. At first, all we knew was that Jon Jones was arrested, and all we had was the court documents stating that Jon Jones was arrested for misdemeanor battery and domestic tampering/injuring a vehicle. Now, today I'm going to get into what both of those charges exactly are, now that we have more details. So, first, it looks like Jon Jones was stopped at the hotel in which he was staying at after leaving the Hall of Fame ceremony around 5 a.m., in the morning. Somebody called the police at 4:30 a.m., stating that there was a domestic dispute inside of the hotel. Details later confirmed that the person who called the police is one of the security guards that worked at the hotel. Now, one of the security guards at the hotel claims that they were in the lobby around 4:30 in the morning when a female, which is Jon Jones' wife, comes down and asks the desk for a extra key for her room. So they give her the spare key, and as they give her the spare key, the security guard notices that Jessie, which is Jon Jones' wife, she has blood on her shirt. And so when the security guard sees the blood on the shirt, she asks her, okay, are you okay, ma'am? She says that Jessie, when she asked her that, Jessie began to cry. And she said that she was scared to return to her room. So after the security guard had that interaction with Jon Jones' wife about Jon Jones' wife saying that she was scared to return to her room, she had blood on her clothing, but she didn't say that she was hit or beaten. She just said that she was scared to return to her room. Now, after Jon Jones' wife returned to the room, the security guard then called the police. About a half hour later, the police arrive, and they see Jon Jones walking around the hotel. So they don't find him inside of the room. They find him walking around the hotel premises. Now, I don't know if that means he was outside walking around the building, or, if he was inside the lobby or what. But they stopped him. They detained him. They asked him questions. Hey, what's going on? We got a call, yada, yada. Jon Jones then becomes, in their words, they said that Jon Jones became irate and started to, they said that he went through a range of emotions from being angry to crying to, making jokes about being able to take on all of the police officers by himself. I guess that was one of the statements from one of the officers, that the officer said that Jon Jones made jokes saying that he could probably take on all of the officers there. Now, I don't know how many officers exactly were actually at the scene at the time, but I'm assuming it was obviously more than one. So they stopped Jon Jones, and somewhere in the middle of arresting him or putting him in handcuffs, and he becomes angry, and I guess they're saying that he headbutted the cop car. When they had him handcuffed, he became angry and headbutted the front hood of the police vehicle that they had him on, because they probably had him on the hood to search him or whatever, and he ended up bashing his head into the vehicle, which I think that's why they called it a felony. Because if you just injure or tamper with a vehicle, that's usually not a felony charge. But it's different when it's actually a police vehicle. It's just like when somebody kills a police dog. They don't charge you for killing a dog. They charge you for killing a police officer. You know what I'm saying? Like, they treat canines like they are actual legit police officer humans. You know, so you don't get some kind of lighter sentence just because it was a dog. No, you get the full maximum penalty, like as if you killed a police officer. And so I guess they're treating it kind of the same way, where it's like, okay, you didn't just damage any vehicle. It's not like you just bashed your head on some random car that was parked in the parking lot. You bashed your head on a police vehicle. You know what I'm saying? A police-owned vehicle. So I'm guessing that's why they're making that a felony. So that's for that charge. As far as the domestic battery, what they're charging him for is that when they spoke to Jon Jones' fiance about the situation, like what happened, they said that they noticed that her lip was swollen and that it had blood on her lip. And when they asked her what this was on her lip, she said that her lips were just dry, and that's why they were bleeding, because they were dry and cracked or whatever. But then they also noticed that she had blood on her clothing as well, just like how the security guard did. So basically, her story wasn't adding up. And so they asked her, like, did Jon Jones get physical with you at all? And she didn't say no. She didn't say yes, but she also didn't say no. What she said was, it didn't get too physical. So they asked her to elaborate, like, what do you mean by it didn't get too physical? So she says, it didn't get too physical because he didn't actually hit me, he just pulled my hair. So whatever they were arguing about, she said that Jon Jones left the hotel and went out drinking and partying, having a good time with his friends. When he came back, that's when they started to argue, and in the midst of that, he somehow pulled her hair. But when the police officers saw the blood on her lip and they saw the blood on her clothing, they went and checked the hotel room. Now, when they went and checked the hotel room, they said that there was blood on the bed sheets. So they had blood on her lip, blood on the bed sheets, blood on her clothes. She admits that Jon Jones pulled her hair. And that's another thing I forgot to tell you guys. I do apologize. But when the security guard and Jon Jones' fiance were in the lobby, when she first went down to get the spare room key, I guess Jon Jones' youngest daughter was actually there as well. And when the security guard was asking his fiance, is everything okay? The kid actually said, can you call the cops? The kid, Jon Jones' child, actually said, can you call the police? So that's why the security guard eventually called the police, because she sees this girl crying, she sees blood on her clothes, she's asking her if she's okay, she's saying that she's scared to go back to her room, and this little kid is asking her to call the cops. So I know that people are probably like, well, people need to learn how to mind their business because, you know, this isn't something that people should get involved in. But when you got a female bleeding, saying that she's scared to go back to her own hotel room, and you have a little kid who's obviously scared too, if she's saying to call the police, you know, that's some pretty serious shit. And now this is a lot different from any other Jon Jones arrest, because this is something that involves his wife, his children, and it's not just self-sabotaging this time. You know, it's like, bro, like, you know, like, yeah, he's had a situation where he's gotten into a car accident and the whole pregnant woman thing, you know, but that was more like, okay, you could kind of understand that because that was like, okay, in the heat of the moment, adrenaline, maybe you're not even thinking about the other car. But in this situation, you can't really defend it, and there's really no way for anybody to defend this. And this is me speaking to somebody who's a true Jon Jones fan. He's my favorite fighter of all time, but this is just inexcusable, because what we have here is a fighter putting his hands on a woman who, if you can tell in this photo, she's a lot smaller than him. And it's kind of unfortunate because you literally have his own fiance admitting that he put his hands on her. You know, she didn't say that he hit her per se, but it's like, I mean, you said that he pulled your hair, and you have blood all over the place. That does not look good for Jon Jones, and I don't know exactly what the UFC is going to do, because UFC usually does not criticize, or they don't usually penalize fighters for this kind of shit. as crazy as it sounds, but who knows? I don't see the UFC putting him back in there, because I know this is like a video where it's like, you know, we're taking this and we're posting this up pretty fast, so you don't really get to see the reactions yet of people. But I have a feeling that the MMA community, the UFC community, is going to react very negatively to this. Like, everybody's already rolling their eyes, saying, oh, geez, yet another Jon Jones arrest. But when they hear the details, and the details start to circulate about this, man, it doesn't seem good for him. But that's all I got today. Comment what you guys think. Like, subscribe. Let me know if you guys want me to do more videos about UFC, MMA, or if you want me to continue on doing hip-hop videos or whatnot, or if you want me to do both, I can mix in both. Just comment below what you guys want, and let me know. Thanks.